Welcome to Talent Freaks with Andy Coon. I'm Andy, a filmmaker and photographer based in the Bay Area of California. This podcast delves into the journeys of creative individuals who inspire curiosity and impact through their work. In this episode, we're revisiting a conversation from 2012 with the incredibly talented Jurjen Versteeg, a Dutch designer and motion graphics artist. That year, Jurjen gained international recognition by winning the Vimeo Award for Best Motion Graphics with his project, A History of the Title Sequence. The piece brilliantly paid homage to the pioneers of the title design while showcasing his unique creative vision. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe and rate Talent Freaks on your favorite podcast platform. It helps others discover these inspiring stories, and I'm incredibly grateful for it. So let's go back to 2012 with the younger version of myself introducing you to Jurjen Versteeg. Jurjen is a Dutch designer based in Rotterdam who designs under the name Snipple. Graduated in 2011 from the William de Kooning Academy and currently focusing on motion graphic design, animation, and visual effects for film, television, and web, with a main interest in title design. I met Jurjen at the 2012 Vimeo Festival, but didn't have time to sit down and talk with him, so I'm glad we had an opportunity to talk, get to know more about him, his background, and what he's planning to do for the future. So check out Jurjen Versteeg.
We are reconstructing a really old building for our new studio. So we're pretty busy with that actually, and getting pretty tired of it. So
was it
we're
nonstop?
in the last. Sorry.
And when's it nonstop? Like it's just every day? Because I mean, this is yours, right?
Yeah. It's almost every day, and now for 3 or 4 months already. So we're but we're in the last details right now. So we're finishing up, and then we're good to go.
So what do you have in the studio? Let's get geeky. What kind of tech goodie stuff you have?
Tech goodie stuff. I got my Mac Pro there with a 30-inch screen.
Nice.
And next to that, I just got my new Mark III and got a new tripod, got a new slider. All thanks to Vimeo, by the way.
Yeah, you got that grant money.
Yeah. Did you get it? Or
yeah, we got it. It took a little bit of prompting, a little bit of pushing, but it came through and right at a good time.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, I was really glad when it came through, and I got to get some new equipment. So, but it's more like we got our studio, and in the front we got my studio for computer and stuff, and in the back we got our own workshop. Where we can make things for made out of wood or metal. So my girlfriend, she makes furniture.
Oh, nice.
And designs it, yeah. And we're now on a level where we want to cooperate with each other, and we did in a few projects already. And we actually thought, well, let's create a studio together and let's set it up together. And we just want to make cool stuff and make it physical with our own hands, and so that's why we got our own workshop for wood or metal, and so we can make these installations and use them for motion graphics or for film.
So, what is your specialty? Like, what is in production? Like, you're all one, but you won for best motion graphics.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, I think right now it's more of creating the image, and that could be a lot. I've experienced that in the last couple of months where we were building our studio. We were also thinking about the interior, of course, and where should we place this wooden floor, or which kind of lights do we use, or so we were really into the design and giving shape to the environment of our studio. And we both experienced that designing can be in any form. So it's not only motion graphics right now. It's could also be an interior or like I said, an installation or something. I think working together with my girlfriend it's working very good, and we have we're on the same level about ideas and concepts. So yeah, it's more than just only digital compositing
Nice.
or modeling, for instance.
Nice. And I take it like when you guys come together that
Uh-huh.
it's now like a bigger production as far as
Yeah.
I'm sure she helps out with like making new equipment for you or ideas to come up. And do you guys have your own, like, do your own kind of like jib dollies, that kind of stuff? Did you fabricate some
Uh,
stuff?
no, not yet, not yet, but maybe in the future.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah. There are a lot of DIY projects you can find on the internet, but we haven't got the time yet to pick some cool stuff.
So what is it that you do right now? Like, is this your full-time gig?
Um, you mean creating motion graphics or?
Yeah, like, are you working for a company? Are you working for yourself?
No, no. I'm working for myself, and yeah, we just got our studio since a few months, and we're now trying to get in production for a few projects. And but yeah, this is definitely my main thing, and I want to keep it that way for as long as it lasts.
So
Yeah.
how did so first of all, let's I've been recording since we started, so we're just, and
All right. No.
that's just kind of the way it is. And my mind is so scattered, so
No.
I have severe ADD, so I might start with something here and then come back to it later. Um, so where are you based out of? If you could talk about where you're from.
You mean what kind of discipline or
Well, that too, yeah, but mostly location. Like, you're from Netherlands, but
location? Yeah, I'm from from Holland, from the Netherlands, and I grew up in a very small town, which is very quiet. And after my how do you put it? It's in Holland. It's a different education system. But let's say after college, I went to a vocational education, so if you can put it in that way.
yeah,
And it was 3 years, and it was called multimedia design back then.
okay.
But that was more based on the interactive stuff and when Flash was hot and you
I
know
remember that.
that kind of stuff. Yeah. But after 3 years, and I was always mixing it together with moving images and motion graphics. And after 3 years, I did a very cool internship at MTV Networks,
Mm.
and I learned a lot there. And that was my first contact with the industry, and especially with broadcasting design, where everything had to be. I mean, deadline was deadline. Was it had to go on air. So yeah, I learned a lot. Also in technical aspects, I learned doing 3D there,
Oh wow.
and it was all just a whole new world opening up for me. And it was pretty long. It was 8 or 9 months internship, and after that, I went to art school, and that was 4 years, where I did a year of interactive stuff. It was more programming based and installation wise. We also get to get some lessons from Theodore Watson. I don't know if you know the guy, but he did this laser graffiti and that was pretty cool for a year. But then I decided to go for motion graphics full, and we got a school task for just create a title sequence. And I get to choose from a few movies, and I choose for Into the Wild. And I don't know if you've seen the piece, but it's a concept of a man walking over the earth, and all kinds of elements are passing by. And that was my first contact with title sequences. So yeah, it was a cool time.
It's interesting when you just went through all that. It seemed like you were in school for like 7 years. Like, after you said college, you went to
Yeah.
like 3 years, and then went to 4 years at another school.
Yeah.
Man, so it's almost like a PhD for you.
Well, It's not really a special thing in Holland to go studying for 7 or 8 years.
Now, how much debt do you have? And the only reason why I ask that is because, like, in reference, like, if I did that, I'd have like $100,000 in debt for going to all these schools. I know Europe is different than America.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Well, my parents paid my both my schools, my education, so that was pretty awesome. But I think that's completely different in your country. I mean, you were talking about hundred thousands of dollars.
Yeah, if I did 7 years, yes, it would be close to that.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, this was.
It doesn't make sense when you go to school and you come out and you owe this much amount of money and there's not a job. There's not a job waiting for you that you could pay that much back. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're kind of screwed.
That's crazy. Yeah, I think, man, you can compare it to those 7 years of education. You can compare it to about $10,000 or something.
Wow. Yeah, I went to a relatively cheap school and it cost about $16,000 for 4 years. But that was just tuition and tuition. It didn't, cover my costs and everything else. But by the time I started paying off my debt, it turned into $28,000.
Wow.
So now, so I have it down to about $11,000 now. But it's ridiculous because I mean, when I left school, I was delivering pizzas. I didn't have a job in the industry, so it's kind of like, oh God. But let's get off that. Let's get off that. That's just depressing.
Totally different situation. Well, I mean, it's good to see the other side, man. It's wow.
And I mean, just imagine if you went to like NYU, which is tuition is maybe 24,000. I don't know if it's a semester. Probably, I think it's a semester. So a year, you're looking at $50,000 a year to go to school.
It's a year. Wow. So, man, I just can't imagine.
And that doesn't include room and board in New York City. I mean, you're talking. That's just ridiculous. But they also have those connections. Like if you go through that program, you're going to go into the industry. You're going to meet people. You're going to be working big time. And I think that's the only draw for me. Like if I had to do it all over again, I'd go to a school, relatively inexpensive school, but that had good connections with people working in the industry.
Yeah.
So your piece though, that you did for, what was a senior thesis, or was this just a class project?
It was my graduation. So I don't know if you can call it is it a senior thesis? What is it? Is it after your master or something? Or?
No, that's pretty much like that. At the end of 4 years, you kind of like put together something, or at your master's, like it's like your, it's at the end of your school and you put together something like that.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, it was a pretty hard struggle along the way. We got 4 months or something, which was just pretty long time to make something. But it was carte blanche, so you can do everything, as long as as long as there's a concept, then you can graduate with it, which is it's such an open brief. You can do anything. So I was drowning in an ocean of anything,
of ideas.
Man, it was too much. So there was so much freedom that I didn't. I mean, there were no restrictions. So there was no idea in my head because it was too free.
Right.
So that was a pretty tough struggle actually. But after a few months, where only 4 weeks left or something, I did my thesis about title sequences. And then I started to think, well, maybe it should be a film about title sequences. And then I started to think, well, maybe it should be a title sequence about title sequences, which sounded in the first place a bit too obvious. So I didn't know if it was going to fail or not. But then I presented to my teachers, and they were enthusiastic about it. So they said, well, just go ahead. You have 3 more weeks left, so hurry up.
And so I mean, it's so clean because when it won for motion graphics, when I hear that category, I'm thinking of like all these moving parts and everything's going to be like all like. I just think a lot of animation and a lot of movement going on, but what you did was so clean and like the camera was still, and the images were just. It was very professional. I loved it. It was just spot on, great, and well deserving of the Vimeo Award. But it was it didn't seem like it was like it did for me. It was weird. It didn't feel like it fit motion graphics, but it was. I know clearly it was, but it wasn't what I was expecting when I saw it.
Yeah. Well, maybe I had the feeling that it should be very very subtle. The graphics should be. I mean, of course you notice it, but it should be in a way that it's kind of like on a background, and there's not too much poo-ha about it, which was also sometimes a bit hard because then you were thinking, well, maybe this is a little bit too minimalistic. Should I expand it or not? But I'm glad with the choices I made back then.
So the title sequence itself was like the names of the title sequencers from these famous movies.
Yeah.
So
that's right.
Who were the people, and why did you choose these specific ones?
Well, I first have to say that it was really hard to get a selection of 8 names, of course, because there's always a discussion of why is he not in, and where's this guy, and so that's why I called it A History, because it's my interpretation of the history of title sequences. So it was a pretty hard decision to make this little list. But yeah, of course there were obvious names like Cal Cooper, who did Seven. He just had to be included in title sequence, and of course. Oh man, I forgot his name. The guy from Maurice Binder from the James Bond sequences. I mean, these guys are pioneers. They just needed to be included. But for instance, Jean-Luc Godard, he's a French filmmaker in the 60s. He did very unconventional title sequences where he read all his names, and it was like for 10 minutes or something. So yeah, and he did even a cut and paste with paper, and it was very revolutionary in that time. But it was so hard to define his style and to incorporate it in my piece that I need to let him out, unfortunately. I was looking at what were revolutionary titles back then, and from actually the beginning of film, Georges Méliès, who invented the film, of course the Lumiere brothers as well, but he was the guy who did his first title cards and all written down and put it in front of the camera. And then there was Sol Bass, who changed everything, and he was also a name that he should be really, really into in my piece, because this guy changed the title sequence as we see it today. So there were definitely a few names where I thought of, well, these shouldn't be missed.
But you also introduced their names in the same context of how they did their titles. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, that was kind of the gimmick in my film, where which was also really, really hard, of course, because some title designers like Sol Bass, for instance, I mean, they did tons and tons of stuff. So this was not their only work or even their best work, but it was the most revolutionary work they did for the title design history. So the names are based on the most revolutionary and groundbreaking title designs back then. So maybe if you look at it right now, you think, all right, it looks kind of simple, but
no, I know. But that's the beauty of it. It looks simple, but I know it's not, just because of, I mean, I know what goes into that kind of stuff, the thought to make it look like that takes a long time.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, there has to be this click. So all the respect for the old masters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Why did you choose doing this on like a workbench?
I was thinking about how would the old title designer back in the days, how would they design their titles? And I mean, it's all about typography. And of course, there were no computers. So, well, of course, later in the 80s, but back in the days, I imagine that Saul Bass was, for instance, sitting on this drawing table with this big sheet of paper and trying all kinds of fonts and typography. So. But yeah, next to that, I thought it looked cool. So
yeah,
yeah.
Well, and I mean, did you have any idea when you submitted that to Vimeo, like for the for the awards, that it would make it?
No, of course not. I was thinking 2 years ago. There was the first, and I thought, well, if there's a Vimeo award again, I would love to submit something. But back then I didn't know it was going to be my graduation project. It was a total roller coaster. I mean, when I got the email and you're selected, and now you're on the short list, and then from 12 going to 4, and then I mean, then you have to decide: am I flying to New York or not, or what are my chances?
That's funny, because that was the next question. I was just like, how do you make that decision if you don't know you're going to win?
Yeah,
to fly out there.
Yeah. It was totally one big roller coaster, and it was fantastic. I would never forget it. I mean, it was so surreal, and especially, I mean, a few days before we fly out to New York, and then you're sitting there and you hear your name and you come in front on the stage, and I mean, and then you get the party. It was a lot in a weekend.
Man, what a great time! Who did you come with? You just come by yourself?
No, together with my girlfriend.
Okay.
And then she also helped me with my graduation film, and we made it. We went for a week in New York, and we got to rent some bicycles for a week.
Very nice.
So we were cycling through the city. Yeah, we actually came on our bicycle to the Vimeo Awards.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was funny. Yeah, and then we needed to decide what to do with our bikes when we're off to the hotel. So we decided to store them in the hotel. It was a crazy night. Yeah.
Where did you? What did you end up doing after the the party? You just head back to the hotel or go out?
No. We actually we met two guys from Holland.
Oh wow.
Who were actually on my school 5 years ago. So there was a really strange situation. So we got a few drinks, and then we went into the city. And but I heard you guys had a great night that night, right?
Yeah, we did. We had a pretty good time.
You went to the karaoke?
Yeah, we went to what did we do first? We went to some bar first, and just all, it was funny because like 4 of us were sitting there with our Vimeo awards, and just, everyone's looking at us like these awards, and we just had such a good time. Then after that, we're like, let's go sing karaoke. So we did that till like 4 a.m.
Yeah, and great.
It was great too, because we had French guys, we had guy from Berlin, we had myself.
Was the guy from Luxembourg there as well?
Yeah, he was there. Yeah, Jeff was there as well.
Because Jeff was together with Tess.
Yeah.
And I texted her later that night. So where are you guys hanging out? And they said, well, we're probably going home. So, but I was thinking, well, maybe I should visit you guys later tonight.
Well, we got to have a reunion, in 2 years.
Yeah, definitely.
hopefully they allow us to, present the awards like they did the previous winners.
Oh, that should be awesome. Yeah. Wow, that would be cool.
That would be cool. I'm totally down for that.
So are you based in New York?
No, I wish I was. Right now I'm based in Charleston, South Carolina.
All right. So is it? Let me see. I'm not really getting the map of the U.S. in. So let me see where it's.
It's like it's on the East Coast, kind of in the middle, or it's in the South, but
It's in the South. Okay.
yeah.
Oh, I see. It's next to Georgia.
Yeah. It's a beautiful area. It is so hot in the summertime, it's ridiculous. It's just
Yeah.
I mean, the humidity is just absurd. But it's a really nice city. There's a lot of art involved all over the place. The filmmaking community is not that strong.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, there are a lot of artists and a lot of people who want to do, different things. So I'm starting to meet more people around here and trying to get them involved. Like I just started a new web series where I'm going to be documenting artists.
Cool.
And there's such a big community of artists around here that I'm just going to, it's kind of like a 5-6 minute interview. And then I do tons of B-roll and capture all that and then kind of do like a mini vignette of these artists, what they're doing and, why they are artists. Because I'm fascinated by us, like artists that just, like we do these things and we can't stop doing them, It's like I have to go ahead and do this. And, for a normal person, they're like, why don't you just, when you go home, why don't you just go to sleep, watch some TV, do this, and go back. And I'm like, I can't do that. It's just, it's not in me. Like I want to create. I want to like meet people. I want to just explore creativity with other people and collaborate and just like that's the thing. So that's kind of where this series is based out of, or behind, but it's also like showing the world about these like amazing artists that haven't had the exposure.
Well, sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I just got started. I have 2 artists that I already shot. I'm going to hold on and do 10, and then I'm going to start putting out one at a time, like for 10 weeks
All right,
straight.
so there's nothing up yet.
No, I'm not going to put anything up yet. We did that with Often Awesome. We had no choice because, Tim it was more of like a cause, and we needed people to jump on board. So we put that out every 2 weeks, and oh my God, it was so hard. Like we had to find a story, shoot it, put it up in 2 weeks. Meanwhile, we're working 40 hours a week, at our other jobs and doing that in our free time. And it just almost, when it was all said and done, we were so exhausted. I mean, I was just like, I need a break for about a year. And I did that, and I'm ready to get back on the ball. Like I'm ready to move forward.
Cool. So creative energy's starting to bubbling again.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And especially like, I talked to Bruno. I talked to the Koku guys.
Yeah.
And like I'm always looking to collaborate too. I'm like I have no idea what I want to do, but I'm just like let's keep talking. Let's if any ideas ever come up where we could do something based in each other's cities that we could work with, or even if if you need something from me, I don't know what I can do, but if you guys ever want to do something, let's come up with some really cool idea.
Yeah, of course. Sounds. I mean, and especially if we're heading to the U.S. Again, then we'll definitely need to plan something.
Absolutely.
Cool. So, and when do you think I can see some first of your artist interviews or series?
I'm probably gonna put up rough stuff because I'm gonna be looking for composers. So I want to put up like a rough edit where this most of it would be done, but I really want the score to be something special. Because I think that can add so much to a piece. So I might put up some with like some just holder music right now, but I want to get some composer or some artist to be inspired by it and go like, I want to be on part of this. Cool. So I'll put it on Vimeo and put it on private. Yeah, and I'll definitely share it with you and whoever else wants to see it and get feedback too, because I love to get some critique. I just shot this girl yesterday who she's a portrait oil painter, and she's 25 and just amazingly talented. And here in town, they had this portrait battle where they had 24 artists come together and they kind of went head to head, and it was kind of like a tournament. where, you know, after 2 hours they say stop, then judges come through, judge it, and then the winner goes to the next round. So it went from 24 to 12 to 6 and then to 3. And she made the top 3.
Wow.
And so I was shooting all day yesterday. And like I said, this is only going to be a 6-minute piece, and I have way too much footage. You know, I couldn't stop shooting. I was just so I was like, wow. And then I met other artists there, and I was like, cool. I'm like, I want to work with you. I want to do this. And so it's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to that. So
you're already extending your network.
I'm doing it, and I'm trying to extend it too. Like here's my plan. This year, I'm kind of feeling what I want to do with these artists and not exactly sure. But so like I said, I'm telling their story, but it's more about like why they do art. Then next year, probably what I'm going to do is probably do events, and also get artists to, if they want to be a part of it, they have to create their art for an episode. Not for me, but just like for an episode, so I could document it from beginning to end. And then the following year, year 3, and I'm not exactly sure if I'll be able to do it, but I want to do a Kickstarter campaign. And this all depends on how popular it is, you know, if it blows up in the art community, which I think it will. But then I want to do a Kickstarter campaign where I could travel across the country and go to artists, like really talented artists that are, you know, unique, or if people... You know how Kickstarter is, like, give us $5,000 and we'll do an artist for you, you know. But it's my way of I want to travel across the country. I really want to explore this land, and like that's something I've always wanted to do, and I just don't have the time or money or anything else. And I think doing something like this where people can back it, then I'll be able to, you know, that would be a dream of mine to do. And then the following year, maybe I could do the world.
Cool. Well, if you're in the neighborhood, then let me know.
Absolutely. And you're in Amsterdam?
No, Rotterdam.
Oh, Rotterdam.
Are you familiar with it?
No, I have friends from Amsterdam that moved to Spain, but I've never been to Rotterdam.
Well, Rotterdam, we're famous for the big ports. So we're also I see you're also based on the coast, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Looks nice.
It is nice.
Anything else you want to ask, or?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, when you got your Vimeo, how has that changed your life as far as like professionally? Have you gotten any hits from, you know, clients or anybody else from the outside?
Well, I think that the biggest we get asked by the Off Festival. And it's a festival in Barcelona, which focuses on design studios, motion graphic studios, or artists, or in typography or graphic design. And it's very, very big, and it's 3 days. And we are asked to give a talk there, an artist talk, but also to do the titles for our Saturday. They want us to design the titles for the speakers on Saturday, which is a very popular day at the festival. So I think that's a pretty big thing. And then now we're talking with some people here in Holland for potential title sequences, and we need to get the ball rolling again, because I mean, a lot of work went into our studio, and now we want to create things again. So right. I think we had a pause a bit too long. And if you don't create new stuff, then there won't be really new projects or clients coming up. So we need just get started again.
Yeah, and it's weird because I know Vimeo was saying, like, I don't know what they said to you, but they said to me, they're like, you know, you're now on our radar, you know, so if you put out something on Vimeo, you know, we're going to catch it. Like, before, we didn't even know you existed. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah, cool.
But it's funny because we put out the last 2 episodes, Often Awesome, and I think we have a total of 100 hits.
Wow.
For those like two, and I understand that, you know, it's a web series, especially what the web series is, you know, it's not a kind of material that you're going to go run out and see. You have to be engaged, you know.
Yeah.
If you're not affected by ALS or even, you know, concerned about it, then you're not going to pay attention to the story.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why I'm kind of hoping like this art thing. Everyone loves art, and so I'm hoping that we can get those views from Vimeo. But that's something, you know. Have you put something else on your Vimeo channel since winning the award?
Well, not really big projects actually. Yeah, we like I said, we went biking through the city, and we got a small little video, but it was more like for fun than a really. But I'm actually finishing up a big ident now, which was which took about a year or so.
Oh wow!
And we're finishing up right now, grading and doing the sound design. So that should be up in the next month or so.
Now, who does the sound design for you?
I think it will be the same girl who did the sound design for my graduation film, and she's based in Amsterdam, and I know her through MTV, where I did my internship, and then she get to work for a big sound design studio, and we still have contact. So it was pretty cool that she wanted to do it for free for my graduation film, and yeah, we're still collaborating.
That's awesome. I think that's such an important. And I thought the sound in your, you know, in that piece was amazing. And I think that was the case in most of the pieces that won. Like the sound design, like I think to me, the sound is more almost as important as the video or the visuals.
Yeah, if not more important.
Yeah. Because I'll say if you get a good clean image, with and you had shitty, you know, audio with it, then it takes down the video. But if you had just mediocre image and you had superior quality, you know, like you see in feature films, sometimes they'll dumb it down the footage, but you still have clean audio. You never hear the opposite. You never see like gorgeous thing and then just terrible audio.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you see on the internet, which is
sometimes, a lot of times, yeah.
A lot of times, yeah. Yeah, that's true. So, no, I mean, we have a few things on our way, and we just need to start making things again, just like you.
Right. You got to get back in the groove.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm excited for you.
All right, cool. Sounds cool. Anything else or?
No, not much, man. I just wanted to give you a quick call and see how things are going, and you know, where can people find you? You know, I know you said that you're working on a new site.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. Well, that is our new studio is called From Form with 2 F's, and it's .nl, but it's still not up yet. So as soon as we get our site up, I will post it to Facebook or Twitter or anything else. So you'll definitely get to know it.
Awesome, man. And definitely, if you're ever in the States, let me know. I know it's a big fucking country, so it's kind of hard. You come to New York, it's like 700 miles away from here, but
we're planning to do a road trip in the next couple of years. So maybe we can even drive by.
Well, I'll tell you what. And Charleston is probably the best thing of South Carolina. I'm not saying that because I live here. It's just most of South Carolina is kind of just you want to stay out of it. It's not really exciting. But Charleston is just beautiful. It's incredible history, gorgeous architecture, and a lot of, like I said, a lot of art is going on around here. And then swing down to Savannah, Georgia, and then you can hit Atlanta. Like there's some great stuff around here. Cool.
Oh, I'll definitely going to give you a call when the plans are more concrete.
Absolutely, and let's keep in touch. And like I said, if you ever want to collaborate or do something, you know, if you need something in the States, if you need even like footage of palm trees, because I have palm trees all around me, you know, let me know. And I mean,
sure, man. Yeah,
that's a way I can help, and I can do it.
Yeah, I would love to collaborate at some point. So. Just let's keep in touch.
Thank you, Jurjen, for coming on my show and taking time out of your day. I know it's kind of a hassle for the 6-hour difference that we have, but I really do appreciate it, and I'm really interested and looking forward to your future projects. Thanks for listening to this episode of Talent Freaks. Jurjen continues to innovate in the field of motion graphics and design, bringing a unique blend of analog and digital techniques to his work. His studio, From Form, remains a beacon of creativity, producing visually captivating projects that engage audiences globally. To explore more of Jurjen's work, visit From Form's website at fromform.nl and follow their latest projects. You can also find Jurjen's award-winning work on Vimeo and other platforms. I'll put a link in the description for it. If you'd like to get to know my work, visit talentfreaks.com to see some of the videos that I've worked on, as well as the photography that I'm currently doing and so much in love with. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and rate the podcast. It truly helps others discover these incredible stories. Until next time, keep exploring, keep creating, and stay curious.